The WeatherTech WeatherFlector is the most unique and innovative way to allow fresh air into your vehicle, regardless of the weather. Incorporating the dynamic tension mounting method, our deflectors install into your vehicle's window channel without the need for unsightly exterior tape. This allows for a very sleek, aerodynamic, original equipment type of fit that is complementary to the styling of today's automobiles, light trucks, minivans, and SUVs.
Hi, my name's Randy Post, and as a multi-champion in professional sports car racing, I've spent a lot of time on the road. And my friends at McNeil Automotive have asked me to come and help introduce a great new automotive accessory.
Due to the precise nature of the mounting method, special care and instructions are required to install the deflectors correctly. They're a bit more challenging than the peel and stick variety. Always be sure to carefully follow the instructions provided with your deflectors, as important points are brought to your attention along the way that may pertain to your specific application. The majority of the WeatherTech wind and rain deflectors install in the method we're about to show you. Beginning with the driver's door, identify the correct deflector. As you can see, a small warning label on one end of the deflector brings your attention to an installation tip. The only portion of the deflector that's to be inserted into the window channel is the thin, opaque machined edge. Insert the deflector's leading vertical edge into the window channel closest to the mirror, while resting the flared-out bottom edge on top of the door's outside weather strip. While grasping the deflector at the base of the window opening firmly with your left hand, bow the deflector toward you while you insert the rearmost portion of the deflector flange into the upper right-hand corner of the window opening. Leave a gap of 1/4 to 1/2 inch between the top edge of the deflector flange and the upper corner of the door, as this will ease the remainder of the installation. Working from front to rear, carefully insert the remainder of the now bowed deflector flange into the window channel by pulling down with your fingertips until the flange of the deflector pops up into place into the window channel. Voila! Isn't that beautiful? Before you close your window for the first time, double-check 2 things. Number 1, check to see that the mirror end of the deflector is resting properly on top of the door's outside weather strip. Number 2, be sure that the thin, opaque machined flange is fully and properly inserted into the window channel. Carefully and slowly close and open your window a couple times to properly seat the deflector. Occasionally, to help seat the deflector, a light spray of silicone or a Teflon into the window channel may be helpful. The deflector should be fully seated once the window is left in the closed position for about 24 hours. It's important to note that some of today's vehicles are equipped with a safety feature that will automatically open the window if any resistance is met, such as a hand. Occasionally, this may happen the first time the deflector is installed. If so, try this little trick. When you raise the window, sandwich the window glass between the palms of your hands as you raise the window to manually assist the window to fully close and stay closed for a couple of seconds. This should override this feature long enough for the channel to become accustomed to the deflector. The installation of the rear window deflector is far less challenging than the front deflector, but it remains just as important to follow the instructions carefully. Once again, dynamic tension retains the deflector into the window channel, although in a different manner. The rear window deflector is essentially wedged into the window channel. Install the deflector by beginning at the base of the window opening and sliding the deflector upward into the window channel. Or, in some applications, you may insert the rearmost portion of the deflector into place first and then pivot the front end of the deflector into place. Please note that as you slide the deflector upward into the window channel, it is imperative to apply a light outward pressure to the backside of the deflector to maintain adequate clearance for the window glass to pass behind it. Carefully and slowly close the window a couple of times to properly seat the deflector into the window channel. Initially, mild contact may occur between the deflector and the window glass. However, this will subside once the deflector is properly seated. Although the majority of the deflectors install in the manner previously described, here's one popular example that highlights the importance of following the instructions carefully. For example, the installation for the CK family of trucks, a very popular application, goes like this. Peel back the weather strip molding in the upper right-hand corner of the driver's side window opening. This is very easily done by hand. And insert the metal retainer onto the exposed metal flange of the window frame, approximately 1.25 inches from the top of the window's weather strip. Allow the weather strip to return to its normal position behind the flange of the clip. Here's an important note. The retainer has a thin and a wide edge. The thin edge of the retainer hooks onto the metal flange of the window frame. Insert the deflector's leading vertical edge into the window channel closest to the mirror while resting the machine bottom edge into the V-shaped channel of the door's outside weather strip, commonly referred to as the dew wiper. Working from front to rear, carefully insert the deflector's opaque machine mounting flange into the window channel until you reach the plastic guide tab. At this time, hold the deflector firmly with your left hand near the guide tab, and with your right hand, grasp the deflector near the exposed end. Pull the end of the deflector downward with your right hand just until you can insert the exposed end into the retainer. Slide the deflector upward into the retainer until the remainder of the opaque machine mounting flange is inserted properly into the window channel. If excess resistance is met, apply a light dab of Vaseline to the backside of the deflector where it contacts the weather strip. Carefully and slowly close and open your window a couple of times to properly seat the deflector. The deflector should be fully seated once the window is left in the closed position for about 24 hours. Here's how you install a rear window deflector. The rear window deflector is essentially held into the window channel with two retaining clips. Peel back the weather strip molding in the upper right-hand corner of the driver's side rear window opening and insert the rear retainer onto the exposed metal flange of the window frame, 2 inches from the top of the window's weather strip, and insert the front retainer onto the exposed metal flange of the window frame, 1.25 inches from the top of the window's weather strip. Install the rear end of the window deflector first. You will note that there is a small hole in the rear vertical end of the window deflector. This hole is to be aligned to the tab in the center of the rear retainer. Grasp the rear end of the deflector firmly with your right hand while guiding the front end of the deflector upward into the front retainer until the thin opaque machine flange is fully inserted into the window channel. Carefully and slowly close the window a couple of times to properly seat the deflector into the window channel. Initially, mild contact may occur between the deflector and the window glass. However, this will subside once the deflector is properly seated.
I've got WeatherTech weather deflectors on my own personal vehicle, and they're available for a wide variety of cars, trucks, sport utility vehicles, and minivans.